Okay. We're live. We're live back on YouTube. So that's good. Let's see. I want to bring this up because so I can see it a little bit better. Maybe not. All right, guys. Whatever. I'm not going to keep messing around with it. We are on YouTube. We're streaming live on YouTube. We're also streaming on Instagram. Get back to the topic at hand. Tomorrow, Fujifilm is introducing the brand new X100 Mark V, which is promised to be a little bit better in a couple different ways on the X100 series. So what we have is we're going to have a brand new lens, brand new 23mm f2 lens with two aspherical elements. From what I know, I'm going off the top of my head. I'm not reading any charts that have been laid out. We're still going to have f2. We're going to have a backsided illuminated sensor, just like on the XT3 and X Pro 3, or I'm sorry, yeah, XT3, X Pro 3. We are going to have a flip out screen. We're probably going to have black and silver. I've only seen the silver so far, but I'm confident that we're going to have the black as well. Why wouldn't we? Looks like this knob, your lever up here is a little different, maybe a little shorter. Most likely it's going to be made in China. I'm not sure. I haven't heard anything. We lost the D-pad. That is no longer. We are touchscreen. We are articulated screen. Not fully articulating from what I know, just two-way tilt like the XT3. So out and up for portrait mode if you want to shoot it this way. It looks like the flash got a little smaller. I think the EVF got a little bit better. I'm sure it's going to have the focusing system that is current in the X Pro 3. One thing that I did notice that I was not really happy about, and I'm hoping that that is not the case on the final delivered model, is these knobs up here. They don't have the knurled edges anymore. They looked really smooth. I'll put that one up over here too. They looked really smooth on the photo that I saw. So I'm really hoping that's not the case, because I do ride these a lot, and it would be nice to have that little bit of an extra grip. We have a 3-stop ND filter on the X100 Mark IV. We are getting a 5-stop, I believe, on the Mark V. So that's a really cool thing. Having the ND filter on here is amazing. The little Ricoh GR3 has an ND filter, and it works great. It works awesome on this one as well. On the X Pro, the XT X100 series has been Fujifilm's awesome, go-to street camera. That aside from, the X Pro 3, I have the X Pro 3 here. The X Pro 3 is obviously a larger camera in size, and this is a fixed lens. This is obviously not. You can change lenses off with this all day long, but other than that, they kind of work the same. Up until this one, these had the same sensor. This had the same sensor. The X Pro 2 had the same as this. So now we're going to get the new one of this that's going to have the same as this. All the same simulations, the new classic negative. So that's what we're dealing with. I shot my X Pro 3 all day today, just trying to work out my classic negative simulations, trying to nail that down, working out my presets. We're going to be launching a new preset pack. It's going to have seven presets, mimicking vintage style film. So I'm really happy with that. I've been working on them for a while. Again, they're base layers for you to work off of. And yeah, I'm really happy with the presets. You guys have been picking those up, and that's really cool. And that really makes the channel go a lot further because I can spend a few more bucks trying to do things. I got to be honest with you, creating content is not easy, man. I mean, you go out all day and you shoot, and sometimes, you know, you just don't come back with anything. I went out today and I got a couple grabs, but I was like, nothing that I'm really super excited about, but, you know, I'll post a few of them up on Instagram. But it's hard, you know, setting up, you know, my go-to video camera when I'm out doing these things, because it's simple, is the Osmo Action. I have the Rode Wireless Go on top of it with the Sonova mic adapter, some Polar Pros on the front for my filters that cut out some of that overexposure. And this is a selfie stick. Also, you know, it's also doubles as a tripod. So, you know, this is a really awesome little setup that you guys can get. This thing is cheap. It's like 25 bucks. It's nothing really. But this is a great little system, and plus I stick it on top of, you know, I have the adapter, and I'll stick that on top of this, and I'll go out and I'll shoot, and you guys get a POV video of kind of what I'm doing. So, but again, you go out all day, and inevitably you always forget something. I forgot extra batteries for the Osmo Action. I left them home. I left them in my other bag. So I started out great. Little commentary, little hyperlapse to the beach, a little POV started, and the next thing you know, I'm halfway in the middle of discussing what I'm doing, and the battery's going dead. So, such is life. It's what happens, but it's not easy. It's just one of those things where, you know, you just got to keep grinding away at it, and hopefully people are enjoying what you're putting out there, and you're helping people create more content and solve some of the problems that, you know, they're facing every day. Couple exciting things going on. FH Street Photography Group has been really flourishing. We're up to 200 members now, probably a couple more picked up today. The presets have been doing awesome on my website. If you guys haven't seen that yet, josephDagostinophotography.com. There's a whole bunch of presets on there now. Really just finished up my week with Fuji Love Magazine, and those guys have been amazing. Tomasz has been so supportive in featuring my work all week long. I think it was like 2 photos a day he was putting up on Fuji Love, on Fuji Love's Instagram page, and I couldn't be more thankful for the followers that I got, and it really gave me a spike, and I really felt acknowledged as a photographer. I've been grinding away at this for so long. And for those of you that are out there that are in that same boat, you know, you find it really discouraging sometimes when you're going out all the time and you feel in your heart that you're producing good work, and people around you tell you that your stuff is good and that they like the door is being shut in your face all the time. And, you know, I got to tell you that it's been the same way for me. For a long time, where I'm out there, I'm grinding every day. You know, it takes a lot of, it takes some guts and it takes some effort to just go out there and just dive in the deep end and just say, hey, listen, you know what? There's a lot of people out there putting themselves in front of the camera. There's a lot of people out there just showing their work and discussing technique and the way that they do things. And at the end of the day, yeah, a lot of them are right about things, but that doesn't mean that you're wrong or that your way isn't correct either. And you just have to bite the big one, man, and just dive in the pool and just say, listen, I have an opinion. I have a thought about this, and this is how I do it. You may not do it that way, but this is the way I do it, and this is the work that I get from it. And if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. But that's why it's art. It's subjective. Just because my photograph is a certain way doesn't mean yours has to be exactly the same way for it to be as good. It could be different and be 100 times better. I'm not the judge of that. I am drawn towards what I like, just like most of us are. But have an opinion, have a conviction, have a way of doing things, and just go out there and do it. And don't worry about what other people are going to tell you. You're always going to have a million negative fans. And at the end of the day, what have they produced? Where's their work? It seems like more so than not, when I look at the people that have a negative thing to say, or that may, I haven't really had any bashers, but somebody's like, oh, that's not correct. If I bother to take the time, which I can now because, again, I don't have a million people following me and a million people messaging me all the time, I do get questions. But if I do get one or two of those people, I'll look at their work and I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I'm not impressed by what you're doing. It's fine if you're happy with that, but I don't really feel that you're in a position to criticize what I'm trying to do or what I'm trying to help people with. But you know how it is. That's like everything today, whether it be politics, religion, gear. It doesn't make a difference. Somebody's going to have an opposite view of it, and that's fine. I just try to stay out of it. I just try to say, hey, this is how I do things. And if you like what I do and you want me to help you, I'll help you, and this is how I do it. So my blog is filled with camera reviews, gear reviews, technique reviews. It's filled with work. Like I said, I was really excited to get with Fuji Love last week, and it felt really good to be recognized, and they really gave me a huge bump up in followers and just getting my work out there, and I'm really hoping that I can get more of that. A lot of that, I think, comes back to developing the community as a whole. Don't keep it to yourself, get involved. We started FH Street Photography group on Facebook. Like I said, if you haven't joined up, please go over there and join us. We're a small, right now, a small, humble group of street photographers, but any kind of photography is fine. We're just geared more towards street, and that's why it's named F8. And we're all very supportive of each other's work, and we have a lot of amazing artists on there that post every day and are very involved. We're going to be doing our first photo walk in New York City in March. It's going to be March 21st. We're going to meet in Columbus Park right next to Chinatown. So we're going to walk Chinatown. We'll probably do, what is it, the Bloody Bend or the Murderers Row or whatever it is. We're going to shoot that area, and then we're probably going to shoot over towards Mulberry Street, Little Italy. We'll get a drink, we'll get something to eat, and just develop the community as a whole and just support each other and just do what we love. I reached out to a few other well-known collaborative Instagram pages like Beers and Camera and New York Prime Shooters and a couple other ones that you guys know. And hopefully that some of their members will join up as well. Hopefully that they'll promote this little walk that we started. I know that there's a million walks out there all the time, but again, if you don't try, if you don't put it out there, you're never going to know, and it just takes you just to have that go-get-it attitude and go ahead and do it. It's the same thing with your photography. Go out there every day. Like I said, it can be annoying to some people and probably some people in my family, but I press this button every single day. I hit this button, guys. 9 times out of 10, I come back with crap, and I pull it up on Lightroom, and I just go look at the catalog just to see the way that certain colors are playing or certain exposure values are rendering through my camera, and I'll geek out a little bit on that. But those little failures, those little battles that I have with my own photography really prime me for when I'm out and about. And, if I head up to New York or Philly or I'm shooting for pay, I've done it, I failed, and I remember not to do that, or I learn a little trick, and I learn it by hitting the button every day. And then once in a while you find a little gem when you come back and you open up your files and you look at things and you find some good ones. So yeah, keep this one short. I don't want to drag it on and on. Not too many people are linked up anyway right now. I think we have a couple viewers. I don't know. Definitely if somebody wants to chime in and have a discussion, we can do that before I sign off. But I don't know that anybody's here. Digital Nomad 68, hello. Nimi S, hey Joe, what's up guys? Would love to hear your thoughts on the new X100 Mark V. Yeah, I think it's going to be a great camera. Like I said, I have the 4. I had the T before this. I wasn't happy with the T. I was happy with the F. This is one of my favorite cameras. I shoot this camera religiously all the time. You know, if I go out street photography, this is it. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So if I go out for street photography and I want to take my time and I feel like being like, fancy and I want people to be impressed, I'll take this. I'll take the Leica M10 with a 35 millimeter 1.4 or the 28 millimeter Elmarit 2.8. I love shooting 28 millimeter, but if I want to take my time and I want to manually focus, I'll take the Leica M10. If I want to be conspicuous and I want to walk around with my family and I don't want to be bogged down by gear, I'll take the Ricoh GR3. Phenomenal camera, fits in your pocket. It's very small. It's about the size of, it's half the size of an iPhone. If I want an all-around camera and I don't want to go super big and I don't need to worry about bringing gear and lenses and I'm comfortable shooting 35 millimeter all day, X100F, without a doubt. And if I want some autofocus speed and I want to change lenses, maybe I want to go with my 18 millimeter, which I absolutely love my 18 millimeter on the Fuji system, or the 35 1.4. And I want some quick autofocus. It used to be the X Pro 2, but now it is the X Pro 3. And I will take this out. And so that's it for me. Shooting street. That's what I use. That's what I enjoy. But yes, I absolutely am excited about the X100 Mark V. I think that the welcomed additions like the flip out screen and the redesigned lens are going to be fantastic. I could give or take the new sensor. It doesn't really matter to me. I love the X Pro 2. I love the XT2. The X Pro 3 and the XT3 are fine too. You just have to learn how to dial your colors a little differently. The one thing I want them to do is change this battery door. I don't know if they will or they didn't, but this battery door absolutely sucks. It's the worst thing that they've ever designed in their life. It should be ripped out, and it's just a complete failure. When I shoot my camera and I have it up to my eye and I'm walking around my pinky finger because I can't fit it on the entire camera like this. I feel like there's no support, so I have it underneath, and it constantly hits this and opens up my battery door. But I love this camera, and I hope the new one is just as good, and I'm sure it'll be better. If you could choose one camera, would it be the X Pro 3 23 millimeter f2 or the X? I don't know. If I could choose one camera, I haven't shot the X100 Mark V yet, but honestly, I do love the flexibility of being able to change this. But if you're only giving me a 23 millimeter f2, then I'd rather have the X100 Mark V, Mark V, just because it's more compact. Screen on the back is fine. It doesn't bother me as far as like shooting it arm's length away. I don't really need to do that, and I usually never shoot it with it down, but I do shoot looking down. I do shoot waist level, and this is going to have a flip out screen, so shooting waist level is not going to be a problem anymore. I shot a lot waist level today, so yeah, I don't know. I mean, I feel like this is more for like when I'm really going to be, doing some paid work and shooting weddings or whatnot. I have this bigger, sturdier camera, and I have that ability to change lenses. If I'm only nailed down to one lens, then yeah, I mean, this is fantastic. Although I do like 18. I do like 28 millimeters a lot, so the 18 millimeters like a 28. This 23 is like a 35. 35 is fine, but, I don't know. Is there a quality difference between the X Pro 2 and X100F? Honestly, maybe the battery door. Battery door on this is plastic. I know it's plastic on the X Pro 2 as well. The X Pro 2 is all metal. This is all metal. I feel like they're similar in quality. This is a sturdy camera, guys. It's got some weight to it. The X Pro 2 does too. This is, these are obviously a chunkier grip and maybe more refined, but not really, man. I can't say enough about this camera. This camera is fantastic. X Pro 2 and X100 have the same sensor. Yeah, the X100F has the same sensor, and the 100 Mark V is going to have the same sensor as the X Pro 3. You know, we also got to mention the X-T4 coming out. And, you know, I'm kind of shaking my head about Fujifilm and what they've done here. And I think that they've kind of, you know, I don't think they shot themselves in the foot, but they kind of pulled a Sony move on us, where Sony would come out with cameras every 6 months, and as soon as you bought one, you kind of felt like, oh, great, I just spent a shitload of money on a camera, and they just came out with another version of it, and now I feel like I need to upgrade, or my camera's not going to be good anymore, or they're moving on. And I'm not saying that they did this here, but listen, they came out with an X-T3, what, a year and a half ago, 2 years ago? We all waited around for the X Pro 3, and the X Pro 3 came out with basically the same exact settings, minus a few video options, as the X-T3. However, it did have the new simulation, the classic negative, and it also had a little bit better focusing probably. But now we're coming out with an X-T4. This came out in December, guys. This came out 2 months ago. So 2 months ago, we got this camera. And now they're coming out with an X-T4. And my question to Fuji is, what are we getting in the X-T4 that you didn't give us in this? And you surely as hell, you had it. You guys had it. You had the technology. You could have put it in here. But instead, you held out. And you waited, and you held it back from us, and you put it to the X-T4. I don't know if that's, I don't think that that was an ethical thing to do, but who am I to say? But, you know, again, I don't want to keep this long, so I'm going to let this one go, and I will check up with you guys next time. Please check out the website. Please subscribe. Hit the notification bell below. New film simulations are going to be on the website soon, as well as some of the, some more photos on Instagram. So thanks again, guys, and I will catch you guys on the next one. See ya. Bye.